You're listening to In Sumter with Sarah Jane, a show about celebrating Sumter, a part of the Item Podcast Network, presented by SKF.
Hey.
Hey,
What's up?
how are you doing?
I'm great.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. That's a pink room.
It is a pink room. This is the best room on the compound for sound. So here we are.
The compound.
Yeah. Did you know that I lived on a compound?
The Gibson compound.
Yes. Three houses, one backyard. It's a choice.
Well done.
Thank you.
How are you, Sarah Jane Gibson, KW Palmetto?
Oh my, see, I'm doing good. How are you, Haro? KW Drive.
You're
the Haro group.
Did you even skip a beat
With what?
with business? Did you even skip a beat?
No.
No.
That's how you
Anybody
gotta
be
work it, right?
Did anybody say, "Oh my gosh, you're with Keller Williams"? What's that?
So a lot of people don't know that I can be with Keller Williams and work in Sumter. And so that's kind of been my big hurdle to jump over.
Yeah, you can say, "I'm with Keller Williams in Sumter. Do you want to work with Keller Williams in Sumter?"
There you go. I don't know why anyone would want to.
I mean, seriously.
Seriously.
It'd be like, you could work with me. What better thing is there?
Well, and I love real estate so much. It's so community focused.
Totally.
And KW is community focused, so that makes me happy.
We having fun.
Yeah, well, I need to tell everybody how we know each other and who the heck are you?
Yeah, are you on? You are already on recording.
Yeah, man.
Woo! We're on. We're live. I better
Well,
not cuss. I better not cuss.
That's okay. I've had two people cuss. They were both very close friends of mine. One was the F word and one was just the S word.
Sumter ain't gonna appreciate that.
Sumter does not really appreciate it, but I think they let it slide a little bit. I think I get extra grace during the pandemic too.
Mm-hmm.
So, extra stressed.
Well, that's good.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I
My
know
pleasure.
you're a family man, and so now is really dinner time. So,
Well, I got a listing appointment after this, so.
hey, what does that make? 5 this week?
When I take it, that'll be the 5th one in 8 days.
It's why I like you. All the confidence. I love it.
Yeah.
How'd the listing go that you rode your bicycle to?
Took it. Signed.
When I saw you on it, I was like, I feel like the bicycle's a statement. It's like,
It could be. I would love to be able to ride my bike to more listing appointments. I just got to get more listing appointments near my house.
put it on the goal sheet.
That's it. I'm ready.
Okay, so you are Haro Satian.
I'm Haro Setyan.
Setyan. Thank you. I feel like I get the first name right, but I'm the last
It's okay.
name.
It's okay. I sometimes when I introduce myself, if I'm at a speaking event, and I say my first name's Haro, Haro. That stands for help a realtor out. And then I say my last name. I don't even know how to pronounce my last name. And then everyone laughs. It's great.
That's awesome. Okay, so I know you you were my econ professor.
I was.
I have a question about that. You went to Clemson for economics?
In undergrad, and then I also got a graduate degree in economics from Clemson.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm a master. I'm a master of arts in economics.
Do you like being a master of arts in economics?
I mean, it's cool to sling around,
Why? What made you pick that?
Well, originally I was going to get a PhD. Pretty hot damn. I think that's what that stands for. No, originally I was going to get a PhD in economics. I really loved economics. And at the time I was working with a company and I recruited on college campuses. So I was like, well, if I want to be on a college campus all the time, might as well get a degree while I'm at it. So
while I'm here, bumbling around.
While I'm here, and so I started down the path of getting a master's in economics, and a PhD in economics. And after a year and a half, it became abundantly clear to me, and very much so to one of the professors in my department, that I was not cut out for a PhD in economics. And so he politely asked me, or maybe not, to leave the program. And I was overjoyed at that thought. And so I did one more semester to finish out the credits in order to be able to qualify for a master's degree, and pieced out. And shortly thereafter started well, no, it wasn't shortly after. That was 06. 08, 09 is when I started my real estate career. So still a couple more years.
I'm going to get back to 08, 09 with the start of the career. But real quick, just to freshen everybody who maybe don't know, what is economics? What is...
Economics, it gets a lot of, what's the word? It gets a lot of attention. The word economy is literally the study of household management. So it's how and why people make decisions. So it's the study of how and why people make decisions. And so it was really fascinating, because you could literally mathematically model out why people do the things that they do, which was kind of a fun thing to look at.
Yeah, I'm reading Freakonomics, because word of advice to anyone not inclined to economics.
You're currently reading Freakonomics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I'm in like chapter 2. Don't worry about it. So I took the winterim of micro and macro. And while it was a lot of fun and I was very interested during it, don't make me retake the quizzes or the test.
Yeah, no. The graphs.
Yeah, I forgot the crop.
The bending lines.
Yeah. So, but I think a lot of people, I think it's, how do I say it? Overestimated, overstated, it's when somebody gives it a lot of credit, and it's like it's really hard to study, but I think you can also, when you know it well, you can take it down to a very basic level of this makes sense. It's like common sense at a really big scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that right? I think so. Okay. So you did that, then you're not PhD.
Not
so
PhD. I was still with that company, and then I worked for them another 2 years, and then decided to move on from that, and that was August of 2008. And then I took some time off and made a decision. It was just kind of what's next for Haro, because I'd been with the same company 8 years.
Were you married at that time?
I got married in 06.
Okay. So we're making it happen. And then we're trying to figure out life in 08.
Yeah, in 08, it was step back. I've been with one company for 8 years, and kind of really formative time and great mentorship and leadership in that company. And there were some things about the job that made it not work for our family situation, primarily travel. So I just wanted to not have to be out and about as much as I was. And so, yeah.
That was a sales job.
Yeah.
Not real estate, right?
Correct.
The door-to-door.
Yeah, it was door-to-door book sales. It was awesome.
They're right now. They're hitting Sumter real hard. Everyone in Sumter can connect to this video right now, because they have their...
It's May.
I can't help you. They have, everybody here has their it's like spreading like a Baptist prayer chain. They're like, hey, get your line ready. They're coming.
What are they selling?
Books, and they got their little masks, and they knock, and they want you to buy a book. And I peek through the door, and then they leave, which has been a really good excuse. It's anyway.
That's a little early. I wonder if they're the European kids.
Yeah.
Oh, usually they're.
Are they moving in on some turf?
I mean, they are, because American kids don't work like they used to, and so they bring in these. It's true. I mean, literally, the biggest company in that space is Southwestern, and they're out of Nashville, Tennessee. And for years, they have built this huge contingent of kids that come over from Latvia and Lithuania and Estonia, and they come over here and like they work their butts off all summer. And obviously it's like capitalism. So however much you sell is however much you make. And there'll be some kids make $20,000-$30,000 during the summer.
That's a lot in Latvia, I feel like.
Oh yeah. I mean, the cost of living is probably half what it is for you and me in Sumter and Greenville.
Yeah, because Latvia is pretty small, right?
Yep.
Is it like, is that the one that's the Republic of something? They got their independence they're kind of
those three countries were all part of the Soviet Union.
Yes.
And
okay, let's not get too far down there so you see how ignorant I am on everything European.
Don't call me out on this video, Haro.
Swerve, let's go back to economics. Okay, so you're out of book sales and then you decide to take some time and you get into real estate.
Yeah. Yep. I interviewed several people in several different careers to try to decide what's my next. And one by one, I eliminated them, and real estate stuck out to me for a number of reasons. Not the least of which was like in one case, it was like this corporate career path where the company is going to move you to different places. And I was like, no, that's not for me. I like my Greenville and this is where I'm going to stay. So I eliminated that. And then you've got like these insurance and life insurance and property and casualty insurance. And those are phenomenal businesses to be in. However, where I was in life, I wanted to make a lot of money and fast. And that was important to me. And with insurance, you can make a lot of money and slow. Because it's really good because you get people and they sign up, and every time they pay their bills, then you get a little dribble of the money, but you've got to have a lot of people paying lots of bills to get dribbles of money that are big enough to fund what were my goals at the time. Meanwhile, my dad had been in real estate. My father-in-law sold real estate for 40 years up in Vancouver, British Columbia. And I had read, someone had given me this book by a guy named Gary Keller called Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It was a red book. And of course, the title initially appealed to me, but then I read the book and I was like, man, this is really, really cool. Like, this is a system for building a business. And I was like just intrigued by how well thought out and laid out it was. And I was like, man, it'd be really cool if someone did that.
Yeah.
And so I had read that. Dad and my father-in-law had sold real estate. I already had my first 2 investment properties, so I'd already started investing in real estate. It was crazy because I was telling this story recently in relation to this pandemic we're in and how this wasn't going to be nearly the hit on the real estate market that our last recession was. And I was telling the story of the last recession, and one of the challenges back then is credit was just flowing like freely. And I'm one of the people that benefited from that credit flowing freely because I bought both of my first houses without a job. And in one case, I actually used the money. I maxed out my student loans for grad school at Clemson and used a portion of that to pay my down payment for the house that I bought. This is not what Dave Ramsey would recommend.
You've since paid well, I'm not going to get into your personal.
Yeah, no, everything is completely paid, and those 2 properties are completely paid off.
Nice. Way to go. This is unheard of.
So I have 2 condos in Clemson that, I turned out to be a good bet for the loose credit.
Dang.
So anyway, I had all that happening, and then a friend of mine from college was messaging me on Facebook back then. This is 11 years ago. I guess I was on Facebook 11 years ago. And
right when it started.
He said, I think I was on in 06. I was on when you literally had to be a college student.
You had to be invited.
I think that's true. Yes. I got an invitation.
The Haro got an invitation.
So he messaged me and said, hey, our real estate team has more leads and more business than it can handle. Do you know anyone that's want to get into real estate? And this is 2009. Of course, I knew something bad was happening in the economy, but not having been in real estate at that point, I didn't realize quite how bad it was. And so when I got in, I was like, you'd walk into sales meetings and agents would like just have this shell-shocked, dazed and confused look on their face because they had been so used to '06, '07, just things just flying. And then obviously it got really tough, and I got in and everyone was kind of bitching and moaning about it. But for me, it was, I was on a real estate team, so I was a buyer agent on a team, but you got to understand my previous career. So in door-to-door book sales, which I did that every summer, but then all year I recruited people to go sell books door-to-door. So selling books door-to-door is challenging enough. Recruiting college students to go sell books door-to-door is a whole different story. But if you talk about the selling books door-to-door, like if you picture my sales role was I would walk up to a door, I'd knock on that door, and they'd come to the door, and they've never seen me before. They've never heard of my company before. They've never heard of our products before. And here's this Middle Eastern looking dude standing on the front doorstep asking to get in. And it's like, that was my sales life, and I did well at that. And so when I got on the team, and the team had a green cell phone, and they handed it to me, and they said, this is the money phone. And when this rings, that's someone calling on one of our listings. And when it buzzes, that's someone registering on our website, and you can go find their information and reach out to them and see how you can help them. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, they call us?
They reach out to us?
I was like, you just did it.
You're like, this is the money phone. Like,
this is the money phone, yes.
People are like,
so I'd be having lunch, eating my sandwich, and the phone would ring. I'm like, no, that sandwich isn't worth $4,000. Might as well answer the phone.
Number one rule in real estate: answer your phone.
Put down the sandwich.
I tell that to new agents all the time. Number one rule: you can literally be awful at everything. If you answer your phone, you'll still make money. You'll still do okay. Just answer your phone. So anyways, you're answering the green phone. People are calling you. You're not having to. I can imagine that the tenacity it takes to walk up to a door where no one wants you to be there and they have never heard of your product, so they have no need for it. Having to get that invitation in to now they call you. This is a great world.
I mean, you still had to do some calling out, but like relative. And like buying a house is not as weird as, it's certainly less typical. Buying a book is a much smaller purchase, or a set of books is a much smaller purchase than buying a house.
Smaller purchase, more frequent, but yeah.
However, the house buying thing, man, just a well-worn process. I was with a well-known company. And once I can get people on the phone, I'm likable.
I think so.
They're going to like me, and they're going to be drawn in, and I'm going to find out what their needs are, and I want to make sure that we can take care of them. And then I made sure I studied the market and studied the things that I need to, so I could be an expert.
Yeah, that's really important, because these people have a need, and if you don't have what they need, they do not need you.
Yep.
So there you go. Okay, so you get into real estate, and what was the company that you started with?
So it was a team locally, and it was part of Keller Williams.
Okay. And so do you just start because you knew the guy?
Yeah, high school. We were not classmates. He was 1 year ahead of me, but we knew each other in college. We weren't super tight.
Okay. You just work in that network. Well, he was working the network to.
Yeah, he was working the network, and I think he was the one that had given me the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Him and the team leader of the office at the time had given me the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book probably a year and a half previous to this conversation. So, there had been some ongoing contact over time.
Okay. So at that, so you're with Keller Williams, but now so Keller Williams is foreign to all of Sumter. It's a lot of people don't understand what it is. They don't understand that I'm not in Columbia, but Columbia holds my license, and that I'm still operating in Sumter. So when you joined Keller Williams, it was, you knew this guy, that's how you got into real estate. Was there ever a moment where you're like, I'm choosing Keller Williams for these reasons, or it was just like,
No, it was just a relationship, and I didn't look at anything else. And then once I was in, I have stayed in, clearly.
yeah, well, it's a good company. What, but you moved
It's
up,
the largest real estate company in the world.
and it's international, which people don't know
Yeah.
that either.
Yep.
So I had a question. You have to give me a second.
I can give you the second.
um, okay, so you do a lot of things with Keller Williams. You've traveled and taught and coached, and well, have you coached?
I have not officially coached.
Okay, well, you've helped me a lot. Um,
So
the-
informally, obviously, yes, but
informally.
not in any official or formal capacity.
And then you have a market center. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm an investor in 2 Keller Williams franchises. In Keller Williams language, we call them market centers. In the common man's parlance, they're called brokerages or franchises.
Okay. And
Brokerage is a legal term. Franchise is a business term. Market center is a Keller Williams term. In Keller Williams world, all 3 of those are referring to the same thing.
the Keller Williams has a word and saying for everything.
Yes,
Everything
it's
is
true. We have our own language.
Kellerized
I
and
think
telegraphed.
I think most companies and most industries do.
Yeah.
Some to some extent, or more extent than another. But I mean, real estate has a bunch of freaking jargon. I mean, the number of times I have to tell agents to slow down and explain what MLS means to their clients, because you just start, MLS showings, the appointment center, showing time, days on market, absorption rates. What are you talking about? Absorption rates sounds like something with my sponge.
No, it does. And then I think I hit a point where when I started real estate, I got so excited. I learned all the terms. I even had like this little real estate terms dictionary, and I was just wanting to use the right thing for everything. And so I was talking to all these people, and they were like, "What are you saying?" And I was like, "Forget it. I'm going to make sure everybody knows your house is on the market, and I'm going to do a really good job and get you the most amount of money for the least amount of time." They're like, "Cool, where do I sign?" That's all they want to know. They don't care for the rest of it.
That's it.
Okay, so you're an investor in 2 franchise / market center / brokerages.
/ yes.
/ plus and then you run your own team.
I do run my own team.
We don't have any teams in Sumter.
We should change that.
We should change it. So a team, for those of us who don't know, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so it looks like in the beginning, that team, I feel like, is just a natural outgrowth of a really good individual business. So you have an individual producer that's doing really, really well, taking great care of their clients, and they start by word of mouth. It starts growing, and so you begin to have more and more clients. And at some point, you're faced with a wonderful yet hard decision of, what do I say no to? Do I say no to more clients, or do I say no to my family or to my own personal health and well-being and me time? And that's a very real place to get to. And different people get to it at different points. Somewhere between 30 and 50 transactions per year, most people are hitting that wall. Some people even sooner. So then it's like, okay, if I am not going to say no to more business, and I want to keep taking it, then I don't have more than 24 hours a day, and usually, somewhere between 6 to 8 of those are spent sleeping. So a third of my week's gone. So in order to be able to serve more people, I actually need to hire someone to help me. Well, everybody has things they're good at and things that they're not as good at. And so for most real estate agents, they're gifted with drive, they're gifted with sociability, and to varying degrees other gifts, but those are 2 that we see fairly common. They can be gifted with details. However, usually we don't see those things together. And more often than not, those things don't come together. And certainly from a business perspective, there are certain tasks in real estate that are more dollar producing, if we're thinking about it from a business perspective, than others. So there is literally things in real estate that are $10, $12, $15, $20 an hour work. And then there are things that are like $60, $70, $80 an hour work. And so the team concept comes and says, okay, if there's things that are in this bucket that need to be taken care of, and there are things in this bucket that need to be taken care of, then it would be the right thing for me to do to hire someone to handle the things that are here while I go do more of this, because with the volume of business that's coming at me, I can't do it all anymore and do it well. So that's the beginning of a team. And so then you assume, okay, the first hire is an administrative one. And this just helps someone just make sure all their T's are crossed and I's are dotted. They're where they need to be at the right time. They're answering calls at the right time, and returning calls and returning texts and emails and Facebook messages. And I mean, we get communication in so many ways. So that's what that individual helps do. And, you know, that two-person team, again, now if standards are kept in the business and now a high level of service is happening and it continues to grow again, you eventually hit the ceiling again. And it's like, okay, there's only so much these two people can do. And okay, then what's the next person that we need to bring into our business? So that's just the evolution over time. And it can just grow and keep growing and keep growing and keep growing depending on a number of variables, not the least of which is, what does the person running the team, what do they want to see? Because if you're going to retain good people, then you've got to keep growing, because good people want to have opportunities to grow.
Right.
And frankly, if you have good people and you're still a good people, then you're doing a good job servicing your clients, which means even more referrals. So it just keeps growing. So that's a team. That's a long answer to a short question.
For you, where do you want to? So you have a pretty big team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's certainly bigger teams across the country, but it's definitely one of the biggest teams in the state.
Stop it. How many houses did you guys sell, or units rather, last year?
Last year's 255.
So you have a lot of people working in there to do that.
We'll do about 300 this year.
Cranking out some real estate. I think you've made a couple lists. I went to the big Keller Williams reunion in Texas this year. I think you were up there for a couple things, right?
I've made some lists.
We've
made some lists. I mean, we've been top 100 teams in the country several years. Top 100 teams in Keller Williams several times. Definitely top 5 teams in this state consistently over the last 5 or 6 years.
I love it so much. And you got in real estate 0809. So it's 2020. It's not been that long. 11 years, right? Mm-hmm. So that's so crazy. And then to go from getting into real estate, investing in market centers, and then having your own team. So are those two things separately, or did you have a team and these opportunities presented themselves along the way of you always doing this one thing?
Yeah. So having the team is what opened up the doors for these other opportunities. I mean, having the team came from having relationships and learning from other people and being mentored by other people, it's all just been kind of a virtuous circle. Yeah.
What's your goal for your team right now? Like, where do you want yourself to be?
Yeah, so for this year, our target is to serve 294 clients, sell 294 homes.
Oddly specific number.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where it came from specifically, but it's 147 buyers and 147 sellers.
There you go, 294.
294, magic.
Okay, so
magic.
You want to sell that many, and what else?
Yeah, and then 3 years from now, we want to be in a position where we are able to sell 450 homes. And our long-term vision is to within 10 years, so 2029, we want to be in 10 different locations. We want to, by that time, have served 10,000 families, and we want to create 10 millionaires within our circle of influence, whether that's people that work for us or our clients.
I love that. How are you going to make a client a millionaire?
Well, teach them how to invest in real estate.
Oh my gosh. This is phenomenal. This is exactly why I love Keller Williams. You care about all the people.
Yeah.
All the people.
And millionaire is not really it's not even that much money.
I love that you just said that.
It's not what it used to be. Let's put it that way. It is
I
a lot of money, and because the value of the dollar has decreased, the purchasing power of $1 million is not that much relative to what it used to be. So that's what I mean by that. Lest I sound like a pompous, jerk.
How my mom says it is ass hat.
Pompous ass hat.
There you go.
I wonder what an ass hat would even look like. Has anyone ever thought about that? Has anyone ever thought about that?
I tried very hard not to think about it.
I mean, people use that term a lot, and I'm not sure if they really know what they're saying. Is that like a hat on your ass, or an ass hat, or is it something?
Yeah.
Is it a hat on a donkey? An ass hat.
It could be a donkey on your hat.
A donkey.
I'm gonna have to make you a hat. So, but I knew
with a donkey thing on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Does any clothing company have a donkey as their logo? That would be cool.
I don't know. The
Jackass Streetwear.
I'm sure that's trademarked somewhere because of the television show.
Oh, is there a television show?
Well, it was.
Anyway, let's back to the point. What were we talking about? So yeah. The millionaire thing. I mean, it's about like anybody can become a millionaire. It's not. There is literally a proven process to follow to get to that point. And if you listen to these guys like Dave Ramsey or what's his name, Chris Hogan, I want to say. I mean, all these guys have written books on it. It's a well-worn path. Like it's not a magic. There's no magic to it. There's no special secrets to it. It's about living below your means, not going into debt, and making wise decisions over a long period of time. And so real estate's one of the fastest ways to do it. You know, one of the things I tell people is if everybody would just buy homes, and when they're buying the home, think about, okay, when I am ready to move out of this one, will this be a rentable property? And many people buy and sell 3 or 4 times in their 20s and 30s. Imagine if they kept all those properties.
Yeah. I've recently been talking to several different people about generational wealth, and just like if you don't come from a family with means, getting that first home and then building on top of that is a great way for you to build wealth that you can pass on, you can keep and pass on. Anyway, because we're from a little place. Not everybody here has a lot of money. There's some people here that have a lot of money, but not everybody.
Sure.
So anyway, talking about becoming a millionaire, and you have goals for not only yourself, but people that you're connected with in your circle. And, you know, how does Keller Williams support you in that, you know? Is that a dumb question?
I don't know that it's Keller Williams, but it's the people in Keller Williams. I have a lot of relationships and a lot of people I can call on and seek their advice and counsel. Actually, I'm in a group because of what our team has been able to accomplish. I'm in a private mastermind group with Gary Keller, who's the founder and chairman of Keller Williams, or the co-founder and chairman and the CEO.
That is super cool.
It is really cool. And I regularly will email him and ask him questions, and he responds usually within a few hours. And I mean, they're not long questions, and his responses aren't long. You know, you learn with a guy like that to cut to the chase and cut out the fluff. And it's, you know, that's been fantastic. And then I just have so many great friends and relationships that are always like a text away or a Facebook message away, and I'm able to just reach out and bounce things off someone and learn from someone, etc.
I love it. And that's what you've been for me. Even, you know, graduating college and working through, I think so I've known you a lot longer than I've been in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I told you you'd be good at real estate.
You told me that
I told you you'd be good at sales. I don't know if I said real estate. I may have.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not real estate. You said sales. You said that I was really good with people, and that I just needed to find something that had to do with people because you
have good energy,
and
you're likable.
Well, I think so. Well, I want to like all the people, and I want all the people to like me. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
No, that's a fool's errand.
Yeah, it is. You have to let it go sometimes and just
Let it go.
anyway, so that's pretty much most of my questions. Like I really just wanted to know more about you and your path in real estate and then learn a little bit about Keller Williams with my audience here in Sumter.
Yeah, KW's values are God, family, business, and it's just a real collaborative culture. I think the thing that drives Keller Williams is that it's a profit-sharing company. So the more that we all grow and the more that we help each other, the better the company does. And the better the company does, the better we do because it's a profit-sharing company. So we have the opportunity to participate in the profitability of the company. And because of that, and I think that's why you've seen the fast growth that you've seen, is because it's truly a win-win economic model. Like in Greenville, Keller Williams didn't exist until 2003. So that's just 17 years ago. And in 17 years, it's gone from non-existent to number one in the market.
That's incredible.
No brand sells more houses in Greenville than Keller Williams by like 300 million.
Dang. I love that.
And I mean, we've got companies that have been here or brands that have been here like Berkshire Hathaway and Coldwell Banker. And, Berkshire Hathaway has been here like the company, which is now branded as Berkshire Hathaway, that family company, C.Dan Joyner Realtors, has been here 50 plus years. And then you've got Coldwell Banker, the Kane company became Coldwell Banker, and they've been in the upstate for like 90 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're great. They're great companies with great people. And Keller Williams has surpassed both of them, not combined, but separately. And as a brand, Keller Williams sells more houses and more volume than the brand of Berkshire Hathaway, than the brand of Coldwell Banker, and then you've got Allen Tate and Remax and all of the ERA, like Century 21. All those are like small, but in 17 years to be in that position. And we've held that position for probably the last 4 or 5 years in the upstate. So really, in 12 years, to come into a market with no previous footprint and to take that much market share, something has got to be going right. So, I mean, I would anticipate for Sumter, I would love to be part of helping you grow a presence down there for KW. I think the people of Sumter would really appreciate Keller Williams, and I think it would offer some tremendous opportunities for the agents down there.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think that as well. Like I've been thinking about a lot of real estate agents, my age and older, but there's a big gap between, the average age real estate agent here. And then, I don't know, 10, 12 of the 200 or so agents here are millennials. And man, they are hungry to hustle and just do a really good job from the foundation up. And I've just enjoyed being a part of that and watching them and helping them. And the ones that I'm thinking of are all agents that came like either right when I got into real estate or right after. So that has been fun to be a part of. And I think Keller Williams could really help all of them. I think that it's the best company out there. I wanted to be with Keller Williams when I got into real estate, but I wasn't strong enough as an individual agent to not have a brokerage house me, I think, because I needed the in-house training where I didn't have to drive an hour. But now that technology has even come a little ways in 4 years, so if I did need a training, I could do it virtually. And
let's hope that there's opportunities for agents who are like where you were, and there is a physical location in Sumter soon.
Yeah, I think there will be. And for me now, not having a brokerage to house me, like physically walking into an office isn't that big of a deal because I meet people at a coffee shop. I meet them at the house we're going to look at. I meet them in their house to sell the house. So it hasn't posed a problem at all. It's been really great.
No problemo.
No problemo. And it's been super fun. So I love real estate. Anyway, thank you for chatting with me.
My pleasure.
And Keller Williams. And is there anything else that you wanted to say or talk about or do anything about?
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
If anyone in Sumter knows someone in Greenville and they need help, I'm here.
Absolutely. I think I've sent a couple up there.
I think you have.
Yeah, I've sent a few up there. The Greenville, if I didn't live in Sumter, I'd live in Greenville. I love Greenville.
We're open arms.
Open arms. Well, thank you for being Haro in Sumter with Sarah Jane today. And as always, we're sponsored by F45. They're still doing online training, but May 18th, I think they're going to have some stuff opening up. And thanks again. Love you guys.
See ya.
See ya, Haro.